Okay, so my name is Emma Hansen. I'll be graduating at the end of this semester with my associates, liberal arts and science, and then I'll be transferring to Northern for environmental science. I'm just going to be talking about my experience with His House. So we'll start in 2022 when I just graduated from high school. I was like, NMU or NMC? And I really did not want to go to NMC whatsoever. I was like, it's going to be the worst 2 years of my entire life. I'm going to have no friends because I thought nobody goes to NMC my age. I thought it was going to be like 40-year-olds mothers with children. And I'm like, I can't relate to them. And so, little did I know that Lord had a blessing for me these 2 years. And so it's been amazing. And so it started with going to Pine Palooza, which is like an event that NMC runs just for like the student groups. And His House was there, and I didn't know that. I was not like, oh, I'm going to go there. So I just like walked around Pine Palooza collecting all of these cards that they were giving out. I was like signing things up for like volleyball on Friday nights. And so I went home and I was like looking through everything that I got, and there was like a jar of like staples and like paper clips and rubber bands, and I was like, that's me. I like that. So let me see who is giving this out. And so His House had like this card of their events, and I still have that card, and I'll keep it forever. And it had like Thursdays, game nights, spike ball, and I was like, I like spike ball, and so if there's people who play spike ball, we'll get along because I like to be active, they'll like to be active, we'll be best friends. And so I went and I met like Pat and Harrison really briefly during that moment, but like it was just like, hi, I'm Emma. Okay. And I went to go play spike ball, and nothing exciting went out of that. It was like, I can't remember who I played spike ball with. And I was like, okay, these are some cool people. And then I never went back because then I started working Thursday nights. And so then on the card, I looked back at it. I was like, that was really cool. I'm like, there's people my age. And so then on the bottom of it, it's like Sunday, house church. And it didn't really have much of a description besides like community. And I was like, okay, but what is it? And so I was like, I'm not going to go because this doesn't make sense. And so then... and then I saw Harrison, Zach, and Holly tabling in the Innovation Center, and I was like, oh, I remember Holly and Harrison. Let me go say hi and like talk about this house church thing that they do. And so I was like, so what is this? And they're like, oh, well, it's in that room right over there. I was like, okay, cool. And so then Holly got my number, and Holly was like this welcoming soul that was like, hey, I'm planning on like this bike event. Like, do you have a bike? I'm like, yeah, I have a bike. And she was like, cool, we're gonna go on a bike ride. I'm like, okay. And then it rained, and so that didn't happen. And then I also saw that there was swing dancing. I was like, well, I like dancing, and I want to learn how to do swing dancing. And so she was like, I go to that. I'm like, that's so cool. And so we went to house church, my first house church with her. And then we went to swing dance, and then that's when I met Olivia. She taught me how to do some swing dancing, and so that was really cool. And I was like, okay, this is amazing. There's people my age, and I was like, the whole like thing about like Christian was never on my mind because I grew up like in a Christian home, but then my parents got divorced, and then like my faith just kind of like dwindled away. And I went to youth groups, but that was like it. That was like my baseline. And so I wanted to get back, but I wasn't like, I'm going to go to college and become like close with God. That was never my goal. And that's where I am now. And so it's really cool because of His House. And so His House is, for me, is just like, yeah, there's Pat and Harrison that's leading it, but it's the people involved. And like everyone you look around, like I've gotten so close to them, and they're my age, and they're Christians, and so I got close with God, and I learned more about God and listening. I never knew that God spoke to you, and so we did like listening activities, and so that's really cool. I'm still working on that. where you leave space at the end of prayer to hear God speak to you. And so that's a little bit my experience with his house. And I just urge everyone here just to be that welcoming soul like Holly was, just to feel loved and to feel wanted. And look at me now. So people that knew me 2 years ago in 2022, I feel like I'm a whole different person I am now. And so, yeah, thank you guys. I'll miss you guys when I go to Northern, but I have a vinyl of you guys' names. So thank you. I love you guys.